Good evening. Welcome to another edition of African Americans Ain't Africans, the Think Show that proves without a shadow of a doubt that the so called people that you call African American, Black, Negro, Colored, Hebrew, Hotep, Omega. I mean, I can go on the rest of the night coming up with all kind of names and labels we put on ourselves to get away from the duty that we came here to do. Copper Color Lifestyle. Good evening. Thank you for being here with us. See if you get this one. Everybody by now is up on what's happening to the banks, right? I mean, many of you guys already know how these banks are set up. So when you say you got so much money, no, you don't. The bank has your money. This is something that we never talk about financial literacy amongst the group. Whatever somebody has, we want it. And we won't even study the history behind it. We just go ahead and give everything we have to other people. That's how the African American does it. Please, I'll put the link to the chat in the chat box, because if you're not getting what I'm saying, please enlighten me, enlighten all of us. Because we shouldn't be today falling for these same trips and traps that we always fall for. And the bank is the main one. You can start to see, I used to always hear brothers say Babylon is falling down. You should be able to see it now, right in front of your face. What these people do, you may go for it, but a lot of people wouldn't go for it. Is not going for it. You may be cool sending your kids to public school. You got some people saying, hell no. See, the African American, the Black, they send their kids to public school, and there's no excuse for it. You don't have enough resources in your neighborhood to educate your own children. That's where you at. What you call the African American, yes. And they ain't going nowhere. This whole money scheme is falling apart. And some say it's to get you into another way of using money, digital currency, blah, blah, whatever. Do we as a group of people go down that line with them? Do we keep continue to just follow their every lead? We don't have nothing that we can do to share with our children to let them be prosperous. What you call the African American Black Negro don't never thinks of it. They do what boss say do, right or wrong. That's all they do. Check out the banks. Check out the banks. This whole financial is twisted. And many of you already know that. Many of you know it, but hope and pray that it don't get you or you don't get caught up in it. Been here for a long time. Do not keep all your money in these banks. And I'm just sharing this message tonight because I'd hate to see a lot of people out there get fucked up on some stuff they shouldn't even be worried about. Have we seen this before with the banks? Have we seen this so we'll know what to do in the future? Have we seen these things going on? And yes, we have. Do we teach this to our kids? Do we tell them certain things that they can do with their money? They can set up their own thing. Do we teach our children that? Do we? You see, one thing that we never do, we never look at ourselves. We never look at the power that we have. We always give that away to somebody else. We never look at our ancestors. What did they do? What were they about? We just hop over to somewhere else and start worshiping them. This is why you expatriate yourself back to your land. This is why you do it. You let anybody come over and tell you no, not to do it. I'll do it for you. Put your money in our banks, right? Right? Isn't this what the immigrants came for? But now you call yourself an immigrant. Isn't this what they came for? What happened to this money? What happened? How come it stopped being in use? Check it out. It's the same type of story that's happening today. Some guys from New York came down and devalued your money. Civil War, your money was lost. Then you started using his. We don't teach our children this. We don't make sure they know this. Same thing happened in the what early 1900s when they started confiscating gold and all that stuff. Didn't you have a lot of that? Yeah, just came and took your gold. Just proclaimed it. Because remember, all they got to do is say it. We don't even say no. Okay, whatever you say, boss. That's how we do it. Right or wrong. There's always some financial shenanigans going on because these people ain't right with the money. What, you $1 trillion in deficits, and you're expecting these other countries to keep going for your stuff using your dollar? Hmm? What is the dollars the reserve currencies? Aren't there other blocks of people who came up with their own currency? What, BRICS? That South Africa, India, I forget them. China, they're coming up with a currency to use. They're working as a block. Aren't other countries jumping off of the dollar? Where does that leave the African American? Where does it leave them? Because remember, all their hopes, all their dreams are built on what's boss doing. No, seriously. All our hopes and dreams are wrapped up into the people that told you to get a jab. All our hopes and dreams are the people who feed you synthetic food. You will follow them before you even come up with a thought in your mind to figure something out. That's what the African American does. So, like I say, the indigenous people here, you're really going to have to look at your situation. Wearing feathers on your head isn't enough. Dressing up and playing it is not enough. If you're going to be it, be it. Don't play it. You see that hasn't worked. Everybody who's been on this planet now knows that. Yeah. Well, I mean, uh, hummingbird, you're absolutely right. But you can't you can't keep using what doesn't work for you. You can't keep using what somebody says, what is, and they don't even have no control of it. You always getting screwed in somebody else's game because it's not yours. So you're right. We gonna have to come up with something ourselves. It ain't got nothing to do with what they doing. It has something to do with what we say goes. And we're influencers, aren't we? Don't you always hear everybody always copying off of us? Yeah, because you're that person. Everybody wants what you got. Yeah. Oh yeah. But other people are starting to come up and invent things too that you won't. What you gonna do? Here you had your own economy. What you see on this image right here, you had your own economy. Why aren't you guys doing that today? And I'm especially talking to the ones who are so-called educated and blah 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 and got all this money and all that. What's up? I ain't not even thinking about it. Not even thinking about it. Not even thinking about it. So you see what's going on in the world today. Always keep your finger on the pulse of what's going on today. What's happening? What it look like? What's going on in other countries? What's happening in other countries? Does that affect us? Does it affect the people in North Carolina? Does it affect the people in Florida? This is what we got. We have to know about the world. We just can't know what comes on TV and what comes across the net, social media stuff, gossip. Is this the kind of life we're going to pass on to our children? What you got going now, is this what we're going to pass off to our children? See, those are some questions that has to be answered. Seriously, don't give the kids this. I know it was handed off to us, but we got to make do with what we have, and it can't be no bullshit because you seeing these churches closing, people ain't with it no more. People waking up to this bullshit. It's not gonna be like you see it on TV because it's not a 30-minute sitcom. It's not an hour program. See, you gotta remember, it's a lot of people all over the world that's been suffering way more than the people here. I say way more. And until you now you can see that stuff on TV, you can hear people say it and blah blah blah. But until you see it with your own eyes, it don't hit you. Check out some of the suffering the people in the world have to go through at your expense. So that's why when you go down to Mexico, they're not looking at you like just because you got some good Nikes on and they don't care about that. What are you coming down here for? Now, what you do when they come up to you, just lick them in the mouth. The information that they're putting out on the so-called African American black, they make sure they call you black because it's a really derogatory term. And when you say it, a lot of people say it with venom in their voice. All over the interlink, they're showing you doing all kind of stupid shit. They're showing you on all media outlets doing stupid shit. What's the basketball player name that showed the gun on TV? Really? Really? That's where we at. So what do you think other people who are always trying to shine you out, what do you think other people are saying? Well, he got his dad in the house with him. They'll make something negative out of that. Going over to these other countries, trying to get a girl, trying to get a wife, saying your women ain't good enough for you over here. It's a setup, man. It's a setup, man. Been trying to erase you for a long time. A long, 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 long time. Let these people know, educate them on simple stuff like the food. All these big corporations have got you to be down with them. They're not down with you. Shrink the market, depopulate. Isn't that what's happening now? Ain't that what's happening now? Isn't then we always caught up in some dumb shit? Then try to act like it's not, it ain't dumb. This is what we show. This is how we show ourselves to the world. So beware of that. See, you can go down, you can't even go down to Mexico. Be careful out there. The upheaval is here. It's happening. I don't know you see it. All these scams and schemes with these new money, blah, 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 blah. Think about it. You're gonna have to have your own one day. It's best to start this. You should have been thinking about it when they ruined this currency right here. See, we didn't think about it. Why are you on the currency? That should be a question everybody should be asking. Why are you on the currency? And these brothers are not slaves. You can look at them and tell they're not slaves. It was their economy. Didn't you own all the land in the South? Huh? Didn't they bring this right this civil right after this? This is the Civil War hit next. Right after this, the Civil War went down. Your children should know this because they're not going to tell them this in school. And why aren't the Native Americans on there? For those of you who are Native Americans, why aren't the Native Americans on the currency? Any of these cats could be any man in your family, grandfather, uncle, cousins, whatever. But you say, no, you're a Hebrew Israelite. This is why you lose. This is why you lose. And you should know this, huh? I mean, any sister out there who's thinking about homeschooling or something, you would give this to the kids, what, kindergarten? Boss said we can't do it yet. That's too fast. That's what the African Americans say. So you need to be teaching your children about this. What, when they can talk? Hmm? No, right? Because you don't teach your children. You take them to other people and let them teach them. And they're teaching them LBGTT, all that stuff. What do you think it's going to be like 10 years from now if that's what you're going with? So this is what I'm saying. So with this new economy coming out, with this new world order thing that they got going on and trying to do and blah blah blah, gonna have to look and see where you fit in that, because you don't. So start thinking about other things that you can do. Start thinking about where your people were from. What rivers? See, those are highways. Those are natural highways, y'all. Those were you once ran those. That's what you used to do. But now you act like you're somebody's little bitch boy, and you are. Do what everybody else say do on your land. I mean, who does that? Who does that? Who lets that happen? You think if you went over to Russia, they would allow you to do what they're doing to you to them over there? Hmm? It ain't going down like that. So this is just a reminder. You heard about that bank that closed up there in California, where all these companies are out of. Most of these companies that you're seeing, they're coming out of California up in that Silicon Valley. Why? These are some of the things we have to talk about. See, if you driving to work in the morning, these are some of the things that they should be talking about on the radio on your way to work. You don't get that. You get some coon shit all the time. And pat those people who giving it to you on the back. You think those people are wonderful. Okay. Okay. The bank's closing in Silicon Valley. Why? That's supposed to be one of the top notches. I mean, see how much the rent is going up there in Silicon Valley, in Oakland, San Francisco. See what the rents are going like. Those are some of the main places you are being gentrified. You're being gentrified. Do you think the people who are being gentrified there even think about what they could do to their land that their people bequeath to them that's sitting down here in the South? Since they're being gentrified in these places, what they could do to the land that they're from? What you think? What you think the African American to say to that? We don't have to do that. I can do what I want to do. You don't tell me what to do. You ain't my daddy. That's what the African American would say. That's what the African American says. He takes whatever little he has, takes it down to other countries and drops it off there. Right or wrong. Right or wrong. This is what you I'm telling you. This is what you call the people of the Americas. This is what they do. So those of you guys who really care and really, wonder about the future of the people, the indigenous people of America, you came with the land. You came with the land. I suggest you stay with it. Hey, so I just wanted to share this guys with you guys tonight. Just do a little quick, little 30-minute piece. Hope it was helpful to some people, but seriously, find out who you are. Find out who you come from. Yes, your grandmama. Your grandmama know. She knows where people's from. She know. Once you know, you'll start looking at life a whole lot different. We'll see you on the rebound. Peace out, y'all.